It's official, God has truly abandoned humanity. I don't believe his light is still shining around the earth when this cancerous abomination exists. This is worse than the Black Plague. And this game might be the punishment for all our sins humanity has committed. Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic? More like Five Nights at Failure Secret of the Milked. How many times will Scott Cawthon milk all your wallets dry? How many of these garbage jump scare simulators do we have now? Like, I question, when will it be the time you idiots will finally say enough to being ripped off? You cry about FIFA being a rehash, yet you 12-year-olds are the first ones to pull your mom's credit card to buy this. Day one waiting on Steam, buy this the moment it got published. Jazzman like you idiots are actually beyond me. I will never, and I repeat, Jameson, a godlike professional commentator that speaks 100% facts for the general public, who undoubtedly the greatest taste in gaming. I will never be caught paying for autismal slop like Five Nights at Freddy's. And this new garbage ain't any different from the rest. This game is the worst horror game I've ever seen. Scott Cawthon never fails to make me lose hope for humanity with his unspeakably awful games. If you can even call them games. You thought Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on the NES was bad? You thought E.T. on the Atari was bad? You thought the Garden of Banban was bad? Those games are masterpieces compared to this garbage. And at least they aren't milked to death. Every single drop of milk from the cow has ran dry, yet Satan himself wants more. Honestly, it's pointless to go full in depth why this game is so horrible. Like, do I really have to elaborate? It's a fucking Five Nights at Freddy's game. Therefore it's automatically incapable of being good. Just like Anim and any Undertale game that comes out of Toby's neo-vagina. Irredeemable. Garbage. I wouldn't even let my garbage can eat this slop. It pukes it all out the moment it got inside the can. Every time I see these cancerous FNAF characters fuels me with so much hatred, so much disgust. I get ill looking at them. And keep in mind there are disgusting freaks even wanting to stick it inside these animatronics. And judging by the fact that there's dead children inside them tells me all I need to know about its rabid fan base. Lock these motherfuckers up for life, their moms should have swallowed. But let's be honest here, the majority of FNAF fans are raised with two dads. With the addition of being dropped in the head on concrete floor. No wonder these waste of oxygen like a quote-unquote horror game as bad as this. Yes, you hear me right, you butthurt FNAF buffoons, you gelatinous basement-dwelling social outcasts. Fuck this franchise in every single way. Five Nights at Freddy's isn't only the worst horror franchise of all time. It is also the worst thing that ever came from this planet. Five Nights at Freddy's comes straight from hell itself. This franchise single-handedly has made an entire generation dumber by at least 100%. Saying that this franchise sucks is an understatement. This franchise is so bad it needs to be exterminated for the sake of humanity itself. And all you mentally disabled Five Nights at Freddy's fans watching this godlike review. Yes, you cancer cells of the gaming community should all go back inside your fat mother's legs. Nobody likes you speds plaguing around gaming with your terrible taste and your terrible fan art. Seriously, the day I become a dictator of a country, the first thing I would enforce a private prison for all you motherfuckers. Many would call that extreme, I would call it necessary for the sake for future generations. No one should be a fan of this abhorrent game. This game is so bad it doesn't deserve to be called a game, it should be a method of torture. The king of gaming will say it again. Five Nights at Failure Secret of the Milk is the worst game of 2025 and most likely will be titled the worst horror game for many years to come. This is why I crave for the return of cringe culture. Back in the good old days, real gamers and even non-gamers were calling out all you moronic 12-year-olds out. Exposing these cringe FNAF fan channels, calling FNAF fans out for their degenerate behavior. Making fun of cringeworthy FNAF fan art with these amazing Your Channel Sucks videos. Man, those days were beautiful, but nowadays that all of a sudden anyone that reached the age of double digits has a nostalgia phase for the 2010s, which the 2000s were better, don't quote me on that. Of course, you 15-year-olds who unfortunately got cursed to be a fan of this cancerous franchise, Try to flame anyone who speaks the cold-blooded truth about your precious little horror series, just like in 2014 literally nothing changed with you subhumans. And if you were present in those days, you probably know what I'm talking about. And goddamn there aren't many fandoms that are as cancerous as the FNAF fans. FNAF fans are the worst. These people are not normal. If you ask me, being a FNAF fan in the year of 2025 should be classified as a mental illness, literally back then and even now. Well, it has always been a toxic waste of filth. And if you're proudly part of the fan base in this day and age, you are hopelessly unfixable. The FNAF fan base are just unspeakably retarded. Literally, these vermin are the bane of humanity itself. And once again they haven't changed a bit for 10 whole years. Due to their disability, Five Nights at Freddy's fans are incapable of seeing the truth. We real gamers have spoken with full detail why their favorite game is so unbelievably bad. But to no one's surprise, they won't listen to honest criticism. Instead they scream, bark, and rage at you like a goddamn chihuahua.
Whoa, how dare you hate on me, FNAF, you're such a hater, stop dissing my FNAF self-insert whoa.
And that's why I think it's best that we sacrifice these people to Allah like a sheep in idol theater. Oh God, if you listen to this, humanity didn't get the message then, they didn't get the message now. You have my permission to flood this motherfucker again like the old days of 2348 BC. Get rid of the demons wandering around Mother Earth like Scott Cawthon, who is brainwashing millions of innocent children to be a fan of this unholy product, and these children are probably the ones opposing the facts with retarded comments. Typical for FNAF fans. Let me tell you this, you are not on a position to question my reasonings. I bet most of you were still on elementary school when the first game released, so why would I take your awful opinions for granted? Your awful taste in gaming makes me sick. I'm talking about prime corona levels of sick. Much like the hype around the franchise. It's completely artificial. You saw these soy-loving Let's Players playing this garbage pretending to be scared with their overreaction of these shoddy jump scares. Now all of a sudden you love this franchise as well. You go on Reddit, Twitter, Google+ to spread your love for this garbage horror franchise just to fit in the crowd. You wanna be part of the herd, you have no independent thinking skills. Hence why you're proud to display your bad taste in a daily basis. Like go suck your mom. Because I can't imagine being that pathetic. That could never be me, but it could be you. Listen, if you want to play a real horror game. Horror games that aren't relying on cheap jump scares. Horror games with an actual coherent story. Horror games that deserve your attention. Horror games that doesn't suck balls. There are millions of them. Play Outlast, play Silent Hill, play Benny Bash. It doesn't matter as long as it's not a FNAF game or a particular horror game with incest. Anything is a better bang for your buck than any FNAF game. Even Nick Jr. Halloween Special is scarier than any FNAF game. Easily. And if you want to debate me on that, I will most likely ignore you to prevent my IQ dropping to single digits. However, if you're still going to be a stubborn idiot to buy this game for whatever reason you have, I have one advice for you. Drink bleach.